I try really hard to be a good person, to be of good integrity, to treat people with kindness, and to always lead from a place of love. But I'm human, and sometimes I mess up. But I try. I do try. Sometime this summer, either June or July, I placed an order online for curbside pickup for my groceries. And I selected the option to pay at pickup. So I get there to pick up my order, and this young guy comes out and tells me, "I'm so sorry, miss, but our credit card machine is down at the moment, so we're going to have to process all the orders later and you'll get a receipt." And so he loaded up the car and I drove away. And at first I said, okay, but then I realized I didn't pay for my food. I hadn't entered my card information online, so how would I get a receipt later? But I kept driving because I thought, okay, well, maybe this is the universe, gifting me something, and I need to just accept these free groceries. But something just did not feel right. So I was on my street, almost home, and I pulled over and I called and I said, "Hey, this is Crystal Green. I just picked up my curbside order, and you told me the credit card machine was down and that I would get a receipt later, but I didn't pay for my order. I didn't enter my card information online." And he says, "Oh, don't worry about it. Unless you want to drive back up here and I take your card inside and then I can just do it inside the store." And so I thought for a moment and I said, "I'll come back." And so I did. I drove back to the store. I gave him my card and he went inside. And when he came back, I felt like I had done what I was supposed to do. I had done the right thing. So if I missed this sign from the universe that I was supposed to be gifted these groceries, I'm sorry, universe, but it just didn't feel right. So I felt good and I was being a good person. Anyway, um, another thing I did this summer was watched A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Have you seen that? It's the film with Tom Hanks. He plays Mr. Rogers. You remember that show from when we were kids? Um, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I cried. I don't cry when I watch movies. I'm I'm pretty tough. I usually hold my own, but I cried. I found myself in tears as I was watching this movie because I just could not believe that someone could be as good as Fred Rogers. Shout out to Tom Hanks, by the way. He is absolutely incredible. But I could not believe that there was someone in the world as good as Mr. Rogers. And since that day, like inside, I think a part of me has been striving to be Mr. Rogers and striving to just be the best person I can be and to be constantly aware of the decisions that I'm making in the moments because why not? Why not listen to people when they speak? Why not put down my device when my children are talking to me? Why not give my husband my full undivided attention? Why not just listen? Why not be kind to people? Why not really truly treat people how I want to be treated? When I am no longer here, when all that is left of me is my legacy, I want to be remembered as the person who made people feel like they mattered. I want my children to be proud of me, to be proud that I was their mother, that I was the example for them. I want to be remembered as a good person. Anyway, you came back to see me, and I feel grateful and honored to share this space with you, and I'm glad you came. Oh, and I have a new neighbor, and her name is Karen, and she seems nice.